I'm 81 years old, and my daughter doesn't tell me anything real anymore. Not her fears, not her mistakes, not her life. I didn't lose her in a fight. I lost her in conversations I never had. She still calls on Sundays. We talk about the weather, groceries, her back pain, careful things, safe things. I find out the important parts later. From other people, from social media, from silence. I didn't raise a quiet daughter. I trained her to become one. I wasn't a cruel man. I worked, paid bills, stayed married. I believed that was what a good father was. The men around me lived the same way. Long hours, tired dinners, short answers. Nobody told us attention was part of the job. When she was little, she waited for me by the door. 5 years old, hair crooked, socks never matching. She'd run up holding something important, a drawing, a rock, a story about school. I usually said, "Not now, let me sit down first," or "after dinner," or "later." Later became my favorite word. I used it like it was harmless. She believed me. That's the worst part. She believed there would be a later too. I told myself I was doing it for her. Overtime, promotions, extra shifts. I thought love looked like paychecks and full cupboards. I never considered that a child measures love in minutes, not money. When she was 10, she stopped waiting at the door. I noticed. I remember seeing the empty hallway one evening and feeling something shift, but I explained it away. Kids grow up, they get busy. That's what I told myself as I loosened my tie. I was wrong. She still talked at dinner then, told stories about school, about friends, about small dramas that were big to her. I nodded, gave quick answers, fixed problems she hadn't asked me to fix. I didn't ask questions. Questions take time. Listening takes time. I was always saving mine for later. By the time she was 16, the talking had thinned out. I blamed her age. Teenagers are private, that's what people say. I accepted that explanation because it didn't accuse me. But silence doesn't arrive all at once. It grows, quietly, like dust. I've spent 12 years wondering what she was about to say that night. It was a Tuesday, meatloaf night. My wife was cooking. I was at the table with the newspaper open. I can still see the headline, something about interest rates. I remember that. I don't remember looking at my daughter's face when she walked in. She stood beside the table. "Dad," she said, "can I tell you something?" I didn't look up right away. I finished reading the paragraph, folded the page, then I said, "Sure, what is it?" She hesitated. I see that hesitation now more clearly than I saw her. Then she said, "Never mind, it's not important." And I said the sentence that closed the door. If it's not important, you don't need to worry about it. I thought I was being practical, calm, reasonable. She nodded once. "Okay," and she walked out of the room. That was the moment. No shouting, no slammed door. Just a decision she made quietly, that telling me things wasn't worth the effort. I didn't notice right away. That's how small the sound of a door closing can be. After that, news about her life started reaching me secondhand. My wife would mention things I hadn't heard. A school award, a problem with a friend, a college she was considering. I'd say, "Why didn't she tell me?" My wife would shrug. I never asked my daughter directly, not once. Years passed. She graduated. I didn't know her favorite subject. She dated someone. I learned his name months later. She moved apartments. I saw it for the first time in a photo someone else posted. A father should not have to learn his daughter's life like gossip. But I did. Because I taught her I wasn't where important things went. Then my wife died. Heart failure. Fast. No warning. One morning she was making coffee. That afternoon she was gone. The house got very quiet after that. My daughter stayed a few days. We sat in the living room together. No television, no radio, just the hum of the refrigerator down the hall. I kept thinking, say something real to her. Ask her something that matters. I didn't know how. That's what 12 years of distance does. It doesn't just separate you. It erases the language you used to share. She was the one who spoke. Not angry, not loud, just tired. You never really listened to me, Dad. Not when it mattered. She didn't say it to punish me. She said it like someone finally putting down a heavy box. And I understood. The silence between us wasn't her personality. It was my legacy. There are things you can repair in life. Broken fences, credit, even marriages sometimes. But you cannot go back and listen to a sentence someone decided not to finish. I still think about that Tuesday, about the words she swallowed, about what might have changed if I had folded that newspaper 1 minute earlier. I don't know what she was going to tell me. I never will. We still talk every Sunday. We are polite, careful, kind even. But there's a wall in the conversation you can't hear unless you built it yourself. I built it. If you're listening to me now, I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm here because this is what the truth sounds like when a man runs out of time to soften it. When someone you love says, "Can I tell you something?" That moment is alive. It's breathing. It's fragile. Ignore it once and it may never come back. I thought providing was love. I learned too late that listening was, and she stopped asking.